Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the Barbershop. Gbush offers a fresh cut on sports. The Barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture, it's lifestyle, it's sports. And it's now the Barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shave and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at Gbush91 on Twitter.
What up, man? It's your boy Gbush back again with another recap. Browns, Dolphins just went down, and the Browns did what they were supposed to do. As always, hit me up at Gbush91 on Twitter. Follow me on that. ShopFifthMerch.com is where you can get the gear. We'll post a link up here and post a link in the description if you want some of the gear. Barbershop gear, hats, hoodies, all that good stuff. ShopFifthMerch.com is where you can get that at. You can also check me out. You know where I'm at on the Barbershop. You can check me out every Saturday on 92.3 The Fan. You want to hit me up? You can hit me up on the radio.com app. You can hear that all around the country. Rewind up to a full day. So if you're not able to watch the game or listen to me on a Saturday, you can definitely get into what I'm talking about by just going on the radio.com app and checking out the Barbershop. Let's get into this recap really quick. We got the Miami Dolphins versus the Cleveland Browns. And as I said on the pregame, the Browns are supposed to come out here and put points on the board. They did just that. 41 points in this victory. But one of the things that I looked at in this game was was still a little closer than what the score was. In that third quarter, Fitzpatrick is running the ball in. And Miami, like I said, came to fight. Miami is not going to play no games. Their coach Flores, he was animated on the sidelines. He was not playing no games with the people. And Miami came out to fight. They've beaten teams like Indianapolis. They got 2 wins on the year. But Miami came out and still fought. But this game should have been a blowout. And what it turned out to be is a blowout. The most disappointing part, though, is the Browns still have these lapses. The Browns still have these quarters where, the game, you're up 28-21-0, and then there's this lapse in play calling and the lack of execution, and you get an interception here. And I just think this is really determining why the Browns still are a work in progress. They're still a work in progress. They're 5-6 during the year. But against good teams, you can't do that. But against good teams, you gotta keep hammering the football. You gotta keep staying consistent, executing. And I think Daryl Johnson did a good job of telling you the whole game that the Browns should be running the ball. I think that Freddie Kitchens once again wants to be a up-tempo, throw the ball all around the place type of team, and that's just not what it is at this point. Even though Jarvis Laundry, I think, had a crazy game. I think Odell Beckham Jr. had a really good game. They seem to get their stats off. Jarvis playing against his old team. They sent him to Siberia to die in Cleveland. I think he was animated. He was before the game. They made him an honorary captain, and I think you saw him come out there and make some plays. I think that Jarvis Laundry had a lot of energy, and I think he showed up. But one of the things that frustrates a lot of people with the Browns is, you got these two-headed monsters back there, man. You got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, man. They can get you 4 or 5 yards of carry, man. 4 or 5 a pop, easy. That's just what they bring to the table. And it's just frustrating sometimes at the sequence of play calling, because on first down, you already know the Browns is running play action, but you can't run play action if you're not establishing nothing. You see what I'm saying? You got to establish that first, and then after that, you can start the play action game. I think the Browns just, still pass happy a little bit. I'm glad that Baker's starting to not turn the football over, but it's still against good teams. It's going to come down to, whether or not the Browns are going to have the willingness to keep running the football. And sometimes it's just frustrating to see them come out and not run the ball. But I can't complain about 41 points. You're not going to catch me complaining about 41 points. I mean, the game, the Browns got 40. I think they gave up a little something at the end. The game was pretty much 41-17. He gave out the touchdown later in the game in garbage time. But in general, I think the Browns played well. One of the other things I'm a little concerned a bit with, they had 3 sacks in this game, but you can tell the difference between Myles Garrett and the amount of pressure. I mean, for the 3 sacks that they got, Wilkes spent a lot of currency to get them sacks. They brought a lot of blitzes, a lot of outside linebackers. They brought a lot of people, and they only got home 3 times. I think down the stretch, you're going to see them. They're missing Olivier Vernon. They're definitely missing Ogunjobi, and then you can't replace Myles Garrett. So, it's going to be, how are they going to be able to generate a pass rush? That's something I'm interested in and seeing the rest of the year. On the defensive side of the football, I think the corners played well. Greedy Williams played well. I think he showed himself to be maturing, getting back from those hamstring injuries. I thought the secondary played well. I think Joe Sherbert just keep coming out and playing ball. I think Joe Sherbert is going to make himself some money. Last year I talked a lot about Joe Sherbert missing a lot of tackles, 2 interceptions today. He's a guy who's great in the secondary, covering guys downfield. He's been the Browns MVP, bar none, these last few weeks. And I think that he's really going to have to step up his game going forward as far as Joe Sherbert is concerned, because, he's going to have to get guys lined up, new secondary guys, especially at safety. Morgan Burnett out for the year. It's great to have Demarius Randall back, but I think Joe Sherbert is going to have to play well down this last little few stretches of games to see if the Browns are going to be able to win a bunch of games in a row. I said it before in the pregame. I don't care if the Browns is playing Menor High School. I'm not chalking them up for no wins against nobody. They're not that good, and this is the NFL. So I'm not chalking no wins up. I think they had to get this win to keep their playoff hopes alive. I look at the games. You got a gift. Jets beat the Raiders. Raiders were 6-4, 6-5 now. Really another big game that I got my eye on. It just started. Is the Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. If the Browns want to make the playoffs, I think the Jaguars are going to have to win that game to kind of knock the Tennessee Titans back a couple games because, obviously the Tennessee Titans do have the tiebreaker. So, as far as the Browns moving forward, every week is a week-to-week thing with me. Every week is week-to-week. Freddie Kitchens, the playoff hopes, all that good stuff is week-to-week. I'm just looking for a situation where if you're looking at Freddie, he's going to have to continue to win games. And I've said it before. He has to win pretty much all these games. If he loses to Baltimore looks like they're the real deal. I'll give you a pass on that one. You know what I'm saying? But the 2 Cincinnati games, no. If they come out there and lose any games to the 0-10, 0-11 Bengals, unacceptable. Unacceptable. Like, you can't lose that game. And I think there's a couple of trap games in here. I'm already going on record saying I don't have a good feeling about the Cardinals game. It's at Arizona. Kyler Murray, if you got him in your fantasy league, you know what the kind of dual threat that he is. Running, passing. I think he's a nice ball player. I think they're gonna get the Browns some trouble, seeing that you got pass rushers out. I think they're gonna have trouble, generate pass rush, but that's down the line. Everything is moving towards Pittsburgh, and everything is moving towards the situation in Pittsburgh. Now, when we go to Pittsburgh, trust me, there will be people traveling from Cleveland. And listen, there's no love lost at all. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you done gave Myles Garrett a lifetime indefinite ban, and your boy Mason Rudolph is out here running around looking like a frat boy. You just give him nothing? Yeah, $50,000 they fine Odell Beckham $13,000-$17,000 just for wearing clown cleats. Like, and the thing is, the league understands, they know it's wrong. I'll ask you a question. The reports were it's $35,000-$37,000 fine. All of a sudden, they bump it up to $50,000. Come on, man. So if you really didn't do nothing, why you bump up to $50,000? Second thing is, they reduced Pouncey's suspension from 3 games to 2 games, right? Larry Ogunjobi still served his 1 game. Myles Garrett still indefinite suspension. So if you don't think that it has something to do with the fact that the Rooneys and we have 3 coaches in 35 years. We got Tomlin, we got Cowher and Chuck Noll and the Rooneys and a great organization in the Super Bowls. If you don't think that play a role in how they hand these judgments down, you're crazy. I ask you something. If Myles Garrett played for the Patriots, if he played on the Steelers, if he played on the Packers, if he played on the Cowboys, any of those flagship organizations, there's no way he's getting suspended for a whole year. That is what it is. I know a lot of people's like, Gbush, why didn't you tell us about the Myles Garrett situation? To be honest with you, last week I started my blog, didn't even really think of nothing of it. It's 8 seconds left in the game. I'm starting to do my blog. I'm ready to go. I got to go to work tomorrow. I ain't got no time on Thursday to be up to half you know what, dealing with a blog. So I'm like, man, I'm going to go ahead and get this out the way. Browns got this in wrapped up in cellophane. I turn it on, and then you know the history. You know the rest. But when you go to Pittsburgh, ain't no love lost. And I'm going to be honest with you. If Juju Smith-Schuster is still out, James Conner's still not playing, and Mason Rudolph's still the quarterback, you got to win that game. I'm sorry. I think they benched Mason Rudolph today for the Steelers. You got to win that game. I'm sorry. I don't care how, rivalry, whatever it is, you got an offense with two backs in the backfield that you can't tackle by yourself. You got two of the most high-paid receivers on the outside in Jarvis and Odell that look like they're comfortable. And if you don't throw the ball to other people and Baker Mayfield holds on to the ball, this is a game where the Browns should get 28 to 35 points. That's what they're supposed to get. I mean, the Steelers' defense is good, but you got to understand, they're not going to take no games. Listen, when you come in there, the refs is going to be looking to be like, hey, we're going to set an example on somebody. Any physical hits, any talking after the whistle. Roger Goodell might be at the game himself. Like, come on. Nobody needs to be acting dumb and suspended. Y'all need to go out there and just beat the Steelers because they're not very good. That's all it is to it. Don't fall into the hype. At the end of the day, the Browns have a better team than the Steelers at this point. You got to win that game. Then when they go, hey, you get to 500, we can start having a conversation about the playoffs. But you got to, it's win to win. It's week to week. This game doesn't mean anything if you come out against Pittsburgh and you lose to a team that, in my opinion, you should beat. So it's week to week, like everything else. As far as the Dolphins, we're going to have to see what they're going to do. You got Tua. They need a quarterback. You got Fitzpatrick. The Josh Rosen situation definitely didn't work. You're going to have to draft a quarterback. You got 3 first-round draft picks. You got to get a quarterback. It's up to you to figure out which one it is. That's the tricky part. You got Tua. You got Herbert. You got you got my man Joe Burrows in LSU. There's a lot of quarterbacks, but there's not a consensus number one dude who's like, oh, we got to take him and he's the number one pick. But all I know is there ain't no way you can just draft Chase Young or a defensive end and just call it a day. That's not gonna get it done out here. The fan base ain't gonna go for tanking. We've been there as Browns fans. Trust me. You tank all them games. You don't tank all those games to get a DN or a D tackle or a left tackle. Heck, you got rid of Laramie Tunsil and you got rid of a primetime Pro Bowl safety in Minka Fitzpatrick. So you told me you didn't think that those position players meant a hill of beans. You could have kept them and signed them and kept the ball rolling, but you didn't. So you got to make the right decision on the quarterback. So it's about figuring out if Tua's injury, what it is going to be. That whole process with the draft, you know, they'll talk somebody up, Mel Kiper and Todd McShay, or reach on somebody, and they'll have some quarterback that we don't even know out of nowhere in the top 10. Good luck with that. I don't envy you. Trust me. I'm a Browns fan. We've been doing this for 30 years. We've been doing the same two-step for 30 years. I'm with y'all, bro. I see you. But I think I like your head coach. He ain't going to play no games. I like your head coach. It looks like he's not going to let people just give up on plays and pack it in. He looks like a dude that's going to keep you ready to go. He comes from the Belichick tree, so we'll see how that goes. For the Cleveland Browns moving forward, it's all Pittsburgh week. It's all Pittsburgh week. Get ready for the narratives. Get ready for the storylines. Get ready for the Myles Garrett helmet swing. Every other just graphic. Get ready for that. Get ready for all the crazy stuff that comes with it. But you'll take it. You know why? because they don't, for once, the Browns just not being beat up on, and it's the little redheaded stepchilds. So now you got an opportunity to sweep you got an opportunity to sweep the Steelers, and I'm telling you, that's what you should do. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Shopify site is up and running. Shopfitmerch.com is where you can get that barbershop gear at. Go ahead and do that. Follow me on Twitter at Gbush91. And don't forget to download the radio.com app where you can hear the Barbershop radio show all around the country. Please do so. And as always, you know how I do. You know we're here with the Clippers come in. Peace. You've been locked in with Gbush in the Barbershop. Feel free to take a look at some of our other videos linked here, and also subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our updated content coming out regularly. Thanks again for listening.